Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Legendary Leaders. I am your host, Katrina Jameson. I'm the founder of Legend Leaders, where we arm female business leaders with the strategies they need to master the one rule of career success in order to live a legend life. You've been moving through this topic. You're on the last week. You are ready to go have conversations with your team. You're just waiting on me to tell you exactly how to do it. So thank you for waiting. I promise it's going to be worth your while. Today, in wrapping up this series focused on your team, we're going to talk about how you deliver this assessment and this feedback conversation. How do you deliver it? What does it look like? The thing that you're going to do is you've got to frame the conversation and understand the 6 human needs and understand primarily the number one primary need that each of your team members is displaying. They're asking you to meet that need. They're asking the business to meet that need. And when that need is met, they're motivated to go and take additional action. When you understand that primary driver, that primary need, and you can communicate with each of those team members in a way that shows you understand it and you're meeting it. And if they take the action you're asking them to take, they will meet it, then they have no reason to go execute. They will be highly motivated to go execute, and that's what you want, okay? So, what have we done thus far? Let's do a quick recap. What have we done? Why are we doing it? Why are we here? Well, we're working on creating and having conversations with our teams, an open book test conversation, showing them what success looks like. And we're doing this so that we can close out the year strong and deliver to the 3 to 5 metrics or asks or challenges that the company's given us as a measurement or a means of us showing our value to the organization, right? Those 3 to 5 reflect the value add that we're contributing and delivering to over the year in our roles. So we're going to deliver to it, and your team is here to help you do that. But they have to understand the attributes and the actions that they take in order to effectively deliver and be the asset that you need them to be and help move the needle forward. They need to know what to focus on, and they need to know how to show up. So you've looked in the mirror and asked yourself how you've been showing up, and if you've been the leader that they need you to be. You've created an assessment form to really give candid feedback and measure performance in an unbiased way, right? And then last week you sat down and you completed that assessment form for every single person on your team or teams. Now what you're going to do is take each assessment form and you're going to put a framework together to deliver that feedback. What does that look like? You're going to sit down and refresh yourself on what the primary need is for each of the members of your team. Now, you may be saying, I don't know what these needs are. If you'll go back and watch previous YouTube videos or listen to podcasts, you'll see that I've taught several times the 6 human needs. You need to go back and listen to those in greater detail. High level, there are 6 needs. There are 4 that are primary. The majority of needs that are displayed, I would say 90% of the people that work in the workforce have the same top 2 needs. So I'm going to give you a little cheat, and then you can go back and listen, okay? The first one is typically, right, the first one of 2 is certainty. I need to feel safe. I need to feel secure. I need to know that I can count on certain things, that it is true, and I can rely on it. Certainty, right? Like they need to know that you're going to show up and support them. They need to know that they're going to be paid on time. They need to know that if they do all of these things that you've asked them to do, they're going to be able to keep their job. That's certainty. The other one, that's typically one of the top 2, is significance. I need to feel important. I need to feel valued. I need to feel like I'm being recognized in certain ways and appreciated. In whatever way that looks for me, I have to feel that way. Those 2, certainty and significance, are typically the top 2 in 90% of the workforce. And so I would tell you, if you don't know anything else about human needs and you go in with a framed conversation with each of your team members and you talk to them about, hey, I'm covering this assessment with you to be abundantly clear on what success looks like. If you do these things, you will be successful. You will add value to the organization and you will have success and security. That's certainty. You've given them that. So you're going to meet that need by simply telling them why you're having the conversation and why they have to use a sheet and what it means and how to perform. The other thing that you can say and should say is this, and it's about significance. Hey, when you do these things and you deliver on these attributes, I value you. You're valuable to the organization and you're valuable to this team. You're contributing at a level that I need you to contribute. I appreciate that, and you're important, and I'm going to give you recognition and praise. I'm going to appreciate you for all of those things. You're significant on this team and in this organization because of how you show up. So that's the pre-frame that I want you to think about and I want you to show up with. We can't just sit down in the meeting and say, hey, we got to win Q4, and so these are the things I need you to do. That's what a lot of leaders, people who call themselves leaders, that's how they handle these conversations. And will it get results? Yes. Because we all show up knowing inherently that we have a job to do and we're going to go do it. And that's just part of us being responsible adults. But if we can really motivate the people on our team to show up because they're getting their needs met, and therefore they're happy and wanting to serve, right? By serving and going and doing and fulfilling and delivering on the ask that you've given to them, they're meeting their needs in return. It's a win-win. They're going to go do it. They're going to be receptive to the ask, and they're going to go execute on what you're asking them to do. And that's so much easier. You don't have to pull them along. They're pushing themselves. You've created a flywheel of self-motivation, and that's what you want to do in this conversation. Deliver on certainty and significance. Now, there are several other human needs. I told you there are 6. The other one is uncertainty or variety. That's one. So how can there be a little variety in the process? If you think that someone has a high need for variety, you could talk through that and help meet the need through this conversation and the asks. Connection and love, right? Connection is through the team, and how will you connect together on this common mission? This common mission of your 3 to 5 will cause connection. So think about that. And typically once those first 4 needs are met, then you can talk about growth and contribution. So if you want to talk about growth, how meeting these needs or these attributes rather, that they've got to show up and deliver on, the successful pieces that they've got to bring to the table, they're growing, right? Maybe they're at a 7, but you needed them to grow to a 10. It'll meet their growth need. And you can talk about contribution. When you deliver to these things, when you help us deliver to the 3 to 5, look at what you're doing for the company. Look at what you're allowing the company to do for the external customer. Those are the ways that you can frame your conversation. Now, I've just given you some very, very fast examples because I don't want to be on here for 30 to 45 minutes. You don't have time for that. You don't have time for that at all. But what I want you to understand is if we walk into a conversation with someone on our team and we just say, hey, remember those 3 to 5? We got to get focused on it. And remember how I'm telling you, you've got to show up in certain ways in order to win? Here are the ways to show up. This is how you're currently performing. I need you to step it up. Let's go. You've told them the key things, right? But you've not motivated them to actually go and make a change. Motivate them. Give them an internal drive. Do that by speaking to their needs. Do that by talking about how them taking action in the right ways will meet their needs. I promise they will move forward and they will be willing to do it at a next level because it's a win-win. And that's what you're creating through this dialogue. So what I want you to do is this. If you're not certain, you're not sure 100% about the 6 human needs, go back and listen to previous episodes. They're here. I've done some this year about the 6 human needs. So go check it out. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, I want you to go back and grab your assessment sheets for each team member, and I want you to make some notes. And again, in the workbook, this is done for you. But what I want you to do is I want you to list out what you believe their primary human need is. What's their top 1? And then I want you to write out how you're going to talk to them about the actions you need them to take and how their actions are going to help meet their primary need. You're already going to prepare yourself for the dialogue and the discussion so that when you show up, that's the way you're going to deliver this content. And then last but not least, I want you to schedule your meeting. Go ahead and get the meeting on the calendar, schedule it out, Prepare to have the conversation, go have it. And then last but not least, the last action is to set regular meetings on your calendar to give them regular feedback. You're not just going to use this form once and be done with it. You're going to use it regularly. Twice a month, ideally, you're going to give them feedback. The faster we get feedback, the faster we can pivot, the faster we can grow as humans, and the better we're going to be. The more valuable they're going to be, the asset that you need them to be. They're going to become that irreplaceable team through this feedback. But it starts with you. You've got to be the leader they need you to be. You've got to add value to them. So this entire month is about you adding value to them. So go do it. Be consistent, build your routine, and watch your team deliver over the next 3 months and beyond. If you've got questions, reach out to me. We've got a Facebook group. Come join it. Come hang out with us. It's called Legend Leaders Life. Okay? Come hang out with us. We'd love to have you join the Facebook group. I'm always dropping little nuggets and ideas and sharing some wisdom. And you can always reach out to me. Reach out to me on Facebook Messenger, right? Through the Legend Leaders page. Ask me any question that you have. We have some small groups starting. We have some trainings happening. If you're ready to start living that legend life that you want, if you want both career success and security, if you want that in your career, and you want personal freedom and fulfillment, you can have both. You simply have to take the guesswork out, like you're doing for your team, and create a clear pathway. That's what we do at Legend Leaders. That's what we help you do in your career, and then we help you do it in your life. So if you're interested in any of that, come hang out with us. I'd love to have you. Either way, go execute on what you just learned. Take action. You got this. Go and be legendary.